I'm actually honored and moved about what I have seen tonight. I have never, ever really thinking any time in the past I will be witnessing such a wonderful night like tonight what we have seen in this hall. I think my journey was very simple. I've never thought about that I will be part of this journey. It started in a very simple way. There's one thing that I always knew, that I always really love helping people who can't help themselves. Also, I was always standing in justice. Never really afraid to say no when I see injustice in any shape and form, even when I was young age. My aunt labeled me when I was 6 years old, this word like a justice man, because I was always interested, how can we get justice? So that's something is my DNA. But this journey, initially I thought that I was helping people who need help, but they helped me so much and really helped me to understand a lot of things that they have been struggling became part of my life. This is not an easy job. Being a Somali person, I have seen a lot of injustice in my home country. We have been seeing failed leadership time after time, which actually resulted mass exodus that a lot of Somali families, both internally and externally, left their home country, not knowing where they're heading, not knowing what's waiting for them, not expecting anyone that's welcoming them as they hoping that. So when the Somali families, refugees start coming to Boston, we didn't have any institution that's already been available, ready to support those families. At the time, we were very young, either going to college or almost graduated, at the time. But we were very much kind of confused. How are we going to be able to come together and build something that's bigger than us? There's people before me who have tried to set up an organization in Boston, but it didn't work it out. And the reason is our ego always bigger than what we're trying to really address. So all those people never really able to come together and understand how we're going to be able to build an organization to help Somalis. So ACEDONE was not something that started 20 years ago. Just when I took you back, ACEDONE actually started 28 years ago. There's another 8 years that we have been very much helping the Somali community, and that was the difficult time. We had a lot of crises, and we have been very much involved how we're going to be able to address those crises. And I have been part of that team at the beginning, 1996, 97, up to 2000. That was like 5-6 years. Was very much burnout. Eventually, I was not able to take care of my family. I remember that I had a serious conversation one night. That was almost 2000. Working all day, very much. Didn't eat all day. By the time I came home night, I was looking something to eat. By the time I got to the kitchen and trying to find something, there was nothing there. My wife was sitting in the living room, and I was very much looked everywhere, couldn't see any food that I can have. It really hit me, and I just asked a very simple question to my wife. I said, "What happened, honey? There's no food in the house." And she said, she was very angry at the time. She said, "Oh, you sound like you are father or husband that taking care of his family." And that was really hit me. First time, she was very much crying, saying that since we start helping the community, we become very poor. You neglected your family, you don't bring money to the house, You're always running left and right, helping other people. The people that you thought that they were poor are now much better than us. So that was the time that she made a decision, either stay with the family or just live with ACEDONE. So that's the time that I decided to leave Somali Development Center, which I founded. And I was working 7 days a week for almost close to 5 years. But after time, before my departure, Somali Development Center, we actually did strategic planning based on that, actually was the second phase of community development, which eventually became ACEDONE. So ACEDONE was a continuation of that journey. That 20 years for ACEDONE was also not an easy journey. We started from nothing, was very hard, and it's very difficult to build an organization from scratch. But there's one thing that we never lost sight. We have to build an institution bigger than an individual, bigger than a group of people. An institution can really able to see the interest for their community and willing to defend that interest. And we have developed that institution, which is ACEDONE today. And in terms of sustainability of that organization, we already created the pipeline of next generation of leadership. It became a hub that brings different type of people, not only within the Somali community, not only African community, but across different communities. So I hope the next 20 years ACEDONE will be addressing economic equity. We'll be looking how we're going to create wealth for our community. And that's the challenge we're anticipating for that. One of the goals that we're anticipating is we would like to really build a middle class for our community who will become an anchor that can really help our community to move forward. We're going to invest our children's future by educating them and build their educational foundation. We're also trying to really address how to build a power within a local and national. And that's why we invited our elected officials for national to really become part of that development, able to really help us and connect where our elected officials that we need them very badly, because the resource that we need and the policy that we need, definitely we cannot able to achieve it without engaging them. We would like to bring them back to their community base and able to develop a relationship with them. So this is the beginning of another shift of paradigm, trying to build a very strong, vibrant communities across the cities that all working together as one community. And this is our part of giving back to our large American families. And that's my final message to you. Thank you very much.